Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
News Channel 8 special presentation.
Welcome to the third day of Nevada Newsmakers. It's the Wednesday edition, and it's another hot one. Andy standing by with a rundown.
Sam, our first guest this morning is a member of the Supremes. Nope, not the singing group. It's William Maupin, Chief Justice of the Nevada Supreme Court. He's running for re-election. And Sharon Zadra and Dave Rigdon are running for the City Council. They're all on the hot seat this morning.
Thanks, Andy. All that and our pundits, Greg Ferraro and Chris Wicker. There's going to be a lot of heat, so be ready for the next edition of Nevada Newsmakers coming next.
I want to be a nurse when I grow up.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
What do you want to be? At Career College of Northern Nevada, you can be what you want to be. If you want to be a network administrator, electronics engineering technician, systems analyst, database website developer, computer repair, legal assistant, medical assistant, or electronics technician. These may not be the professions you wanted growing up. These are the fastest growing professions and best paying professions through the year 2006, with entry-level positions starting from $30,000 to $40,000 per year. Estimated available jobs through the year 2006, according to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in the computer-related industries, 1.3 million, in healthcare services, 3.1 million. What do you want to be?
I don't know.
Then call Career College of Northern Nevada now at 856-2266. That's 856-CCNN, and find out.
The Roads to Riches leads to Atlantis. $130,000 cash and car giveaway. Win this 2002 PT Cruiser. What are you doing down the road? Cruise to Atlantis today.
The 2003s are here, including award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokees, Liberties, and brand new Chryslers. And nearly all available at 0%. Now at Reno Jeep Chrysler.
Romantic Sensations has it all. From mild to wild, you'll find something for everyone. Sensational lingerie, exotic leather and latex, exquisite gowns, and hundreds of styles of bizarre shoes and boots. From romantic gifts to beautiful corsets, you'll be amazed at the variety of unique items from all over the world. Whether you're subtle or sexy, Romantic Sensations is the perfect place to shop. If you haven't been by yet, you need to stop in and see what you're missing. Romantic Sensations, it's not what you think.
The masters painted enduring works of art. Trust us to keep their same standard of excellence. Fast Frame, expert picture framing.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and political analyst Ande Engleman.
The justices of the Supreme Court make important decisions every day that affect us, but they're rarely seen except on billboards and even seldom heard from. Today, that's different. The Chief Justice of the Nevada Supreme Court is running for re-election, and he joins us at the table. Bill Maupin, along with Ande Engleman. Pleasure to have you here, Justice.
Thank you.
Justice, I wanted to start out by asking you about the train trench decision. Was that something you took part in?
No, I was legally disqualified from sitting and participating on that decision.
That decision was based upon what? There's a lot of anger out there about not being able to vote on the train trench.
Yes, and that was well recognized, I think, by the members of the court. I didn't sit in on their deliberations in this case, but I have participated in the other ballot question cases that have come before the court this summer and this fall. And I do know that the members of the court in every case that I have sat on are very, very cognizant of the concern of the citizens, and these cases were treated very seriously and very thoroughly. These are the ones that I was on, and I'm sure that was the case with the train trench.
What do you say to the citizens who feel that they got a raw deal on this?
It happens with many Supreme Court decisions when there is when the court's decision is heavy on legal analysis, that it isn't necessarily satisfying to all parties. Certainly there's a winner and there's a loser, so it's never satisfying to all parties. But in this particular case, as I read the decision, the court made a determination that the train trench issue was something that was within what's called the administrative prerogatives of the City Council, and they were allowed to go forward with that. There was a dissent in the case. It was very impassioned by one of the greatest members of the judiciary in the history of Nevada, Justice Young, And so I can only imagine that the debate that went on within with the justices that participated was very vigorous, but I can also imagine that it was also within the highest traditions of our institution.
Justice, recently the governor has had to cut 3% out of the state budget from the executive branch of government. Is the judicial branch also going to make cuts because of the budget shortfall?
Absolutely. The court has examined its budget submission that's going to go to the legislature this next time, and also the expenditure of monies between now and the legislative session, and of course in this fiscal year through June, end of June of 2003, and have found some positions not to fill, and we have come up with actually more than 3% of a cut in our budget. Although our budget is very small, it's only 1% of the entire state budget, but we felt that it was incumbent upon us to join in and help the governor with these fiscal measures.
Justice Maupin, speaking of fiscal measures, in any campaign you have to raise money. That's the way our system works in the state of Nevada. But that means that for the most part, lawyers are the ones who are contributing to the campaign, and then they're the same lawyers that are going to come before the Supreme Court. How do you feel about this? Should we be electing justices, or should we be going with the Missouri plan and appointing justices?
Well, I've, of course, been a benefit of both types of judicial selection processes. I was appointed originally in a merit selection process, but I've also been through 2 successful elections. I believe the election process is right for Nevada. The people of the state of Nevada believe it's right for Nevada, and it is. And that being the case, then campaign contributions become part of the culture of selecting judges.
So what does the campaign contribution get?
The campaign contribution simply gets nothing other than the judge has then the ability to get his or her message out. But I don't think anyone that contributes to our campaigns, at least to the amounts that are contributed in the broad base of contributions that turn up in these campaigns, I don't think that there's any sense that they're buying justice in Nevada. They're trying to improve justice, and they may agree with the philosophical position of the judge. There may be a perception, by the way, out there that this is problematic, but we as judges know that once the campaign season is over and we take office and we sit on these cases, that we're there to do fair and exact justice to the people that come before us.
We're just about out of time. Justice, one quick question. You have opened up the courts to cameras in the courtroom at the Supreme Court more than it's ever been before, but any chance that we're going to be able to watch the Supreme Court on television anytime soon?
We just did in the oral arguments over the so-called Binion murder trial. It's my intent to make sure that the public's access to the court proceedings is not decreased but increased. I think the general sense of everyone involved, the judges, the lawyers, the people that watched those proceedings, felt that the justice was better served by having the more complete access to the court system through television media.
I've got one very, very last quick question for you here. A few years ago, there was a controversy over Supreme Court justices accepting money for serving on boards that equalized their pay to those judges who had been elected and were receiving the higher pay. And at the time, there was quite a controversy over it. It's still going on. What do you think about that?
Well, the legislature passed a pay equalization measure. That was a public policy decision they made. And to be quite frank with you, I really wasn't involved in that part of the lobbying effort.
But do you agree with it?
I don't know whether I agree with it or I don't agree with it, to tell you the truth.
Okay, and that's where we leave it. Thank you very much indeed for being here. Chief Justice Bill Maupin, running for re-election. And we'll take a break here, and when we come back, Sharon Zadra and David Rigdon will be here in one of the most controversial races for the City Council in Ward 2. We'll be right back.
Get more bang for your buck. This Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
12 hours at More Furniture for Less.
Pay absolutely nothing till 2004.
More savings on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, leather furniture, all Simmons mattresses.
With express 2-day delivery, plus no down payment, no interest, and no payments till 2004. This Wednesday.
12 hours, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
At More Furniture for Less.
Ask any successful business person. Legal questions are like weeds. Ignore them and they grow and tangle. Confront them early on and they're easier and cheaper to remove. Hi, I'm Kurt Franke. If you have a legal question or one that is elevated to a dispute, but you don't know who to call or you don't believe you can afford an attorney, I encourage you to call me at 827-6100.
When your home just... Growing World RV and Mini Storage, the best place to store your extra stuff and the best storage prices in town. Call Growing World today at 323-1515.
If you've ever been turned down for auto financing, you're going to love this phone number, 1-800-APPROVED. We do one thing all day long, help good people just like you reestablish their credit and get you back behind the wheel where you belong. 1-800-APPROVED. We have a tremendous selection of cars, trucks, vans, sport utility vehicles, and we approve loans 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because we have millions of dollars to lend. 1-800-APPROVED. Regardless of your credit history, 1-800-APPROVED. The sooner you call, the sooner you're approved.
Your pulse will pound. Your palms will sweat.
I can't take it.
And you're just playing at home. It's the new weekday Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I'm going for it.
With host Meredith Vieira.
Are you ready to play?
New shows, new millionaires.
Premiering this September on News Channel 8.
Over the next 4 years, the Reno City Council will be making decisions that may affect the next 40 years of people living in northern Nevada as far as paying taxes on various projects that are going through, including, of course, the railroad trench. In Ward 2, there is a race that is very clear-cut with two people who are on opposite sides of a table here. They're sitting next to each other on our table, and let's go join them. David Rigdon is running for re-election. Sharon Zadra is running against him. Welcome to you both. Thank you for being here. Is this race all about the trench, David?
Oh, I don't think so. Not by a long shot. I think that's a big issue for people out there. But I don't think the race is about the trench. There's a whole host of issues that have been before the City Council over the last 4 years. I've been there. I've got a record on those issues, and I think that's what people will judge me on.
What other things do you think are the most important? Give us a couple.
The biggest one that we constantly hear back is the street issue and how we need to improve our infrastructure in the streets. Public safety is the second one, making sure that we have enough officers on the street, that those officers are properly trained, and that we're taking care of the public safety needs of this community. Those are the two biggest issues. Every year we do a survey of our citizens to find out what do you want us to spend more time, money, and effort on, and those are the two things that have consistently come to the top over the last 4 years.
During your campaign this time around, have you had trouble raising money?
It's been difficult for all candidates, I believe, in this go-around to raise money. We're in an economic slump. There's not a lot of extra money out there that people have, let alone to give to political campaigns. So I think overall you're seeing a depressed amount of campaign contributions.
Sharon, let me go over the same questions with you. Is this race all about the trench for you?
No, I don't believe it is. There are issues that, as Dave said, are top of mind for our community and me as well. And it really is all about the public services. Top in mind for me is the public safety issue, and I consistently hear it from the people when I'm out visiting with them, that they are concerned with the representation and actually the response time. They believe they're getting good service as it relates to the police department, but not in response time. That's probably a factor, too, that we have fewer per ratio, per capita officers servicing the people today than we did 10 years ago and even 5 years ago. And they're concerned about, in the Double Diamond area, for example, 3 days for a response to a call on a burglary. There's a difference between efficiency. The department is running very efficiently, but there's some distance between efficiency and public the way they receive it. And so those are issues that we do need to take top priority with. That requires a revenue source, and of course the economy, as David already referred to, is in a slump, and we need to recognize that and put some solutions into place immediately to shore up our revenue opportunities.
In the advertising and marketing world, you have been very well known for a long time, but in the public world, you have not. but there were an impressive amount of signs for you in this campaign. Have you found it easy to raise money in your campaign?
You know, I'm not sure if I can answer that with the history. Of course I can't. So my reference point is just from my heart, having never run before, as you said. It's a challenging issue to raise money, and it's very interesting for me because I've raised an awful lot of money for public service groups, and it's not a problem at all for me personally to walk in and explain an issue and ask for several $1,000s. It's very uncomfortable for me, however, going in and asking for the money for a political race. That's something that I have not had experience with before, so I don't have that reference point if it's been easy or hard. For me personally, it's been a challenge because I've never done it before.
Dave, excuse me, Sam. Dave, there's a rumor out there, and I'd like to get it settled one way or the other, that you have recently gotten married and actually moved out of your district. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely not. I have recently gotten married, and very happy about that. It was just 2 weeks ago. No, there's no foundation to that at all. My wife has moved in with me. We're actually fixing up her place to rent out and actually looking at buying a place that's going to be our place, not hers or mine. So.
Okay, I wanted to clarify that. That has been going around out there. Sharon, you work with the state as far as the movie companies are coming in here with Robin Hollenberg, is that correct? What do you see as far as promoting Reno in the future? We could be heading into some bad economic times.
That is a concern of mine. As you know, the Film Commission is part of the Economic Development Commission, and I've actually worked with the CED since about 1992, so lots of history and exposure to what it takes to bring business and industry, you know, diversifying our economy into the state. The challenges that we face are, of course, the expense side as it relates to the film industry specifically. They're finding that it's much easier and less expensive on many occasions to shoot on location up in Canada. They've been a huge competition for us, but we have actually tripled our revenue sources in the last 3 years of the movies that we have brought in to shoot on location.
Let me ask you 30 seconds from each of you. What's your vision for the next 4 years and what you want to promote if you're back on the city council or if you're elected to the city council?
It's basically the same vision I've had for the last 4 years. I want a city council that focuses on neighborhood issues, the basics of government, streets, police, fire protection, sewers, those types of things. We've spent far too much time promoting big visions and big projects, usually at the expense of the taxpayers who are out there, and basically what I hear back from them is, if you're going to use my tax money, use it for things that benefit me. Don't give it to other people for their big grand visions.
Okay, Sharon, you got 30.
30 is really hard. I'll actually relate it back to what the Justice said. When people elect you to office, in my mind, they're electing you to support our democratic process, and that is government by the people. That means consistent representation, effective representation, someone that has an experience of managing issues as opposed to allowing emotions and bickering to become a factor that takes over where the decisions for the public need to be made. We need that continuity and consistency.
Okay, David Rigdon, Sharon Zadra, thank you both for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And coming up in Nevada Newsmakers, and I just dropped my box here, but that'll be all right. We'll have our Pundits panel, and there'll be a lot more things dropping. Come with us in just about 2 minutes.
Sesame Street Live is coming to Reno October 8th and 9th, and News Channel 8 Daybreak is giving you a chance to win tickets. Simply log on to KOLOTV.com to register for tickets to Let's Be Friends. You'll have a new chance to win each day.
Over the past 20 years, I've seen a lot of changes in education.
I hope that I've had a positive effect on the students who have sat in my classroom.
I've taught them English and math, and I've taught them science. But if there's one legacy I hope I've left with them,
it's the value of a quality education.
In my experience, the Nevada State Education Association has
consistently stood up for quality education
for our kids and their future.
Any questions?
Planning to sell your home or condo this year? You're probably wondering how much it's worth. You can find out free on the web at housevalues.com. So if you're planning to sell, visit housevalues.com today. That's housevalues.com.
As the seasons change and the nights become longer, it's time to think about a new bed for the winter. And there's no better place to find a great deal on a new bed than Rick's Furniture Warehouse. Stop by and check out their great selection of beds in all sizes, from pillow top to orthopedic and extra firm mattresses to a variety of bunk beds, day beds, and trundle beds for the kids. If you're looking for complete bedroom sets, a new headboard, or accessories for your bedroom, shop the other stores, then come to Rick's Furniture Warehouse for their everyday low prices. Rick's Furniture Warehouse at the corner of Moana and Kitsky Lane in Reno.
Hi, I'm Kirk Franke. If you need an attorney, there are 4 things you should look for. 1, a sincere commitment to you and your case. 2, a knowledge of the law. 3, the confidence and work ethic it takes to try a case. And if you find those 3 things in one attorney, then the 4th thing you need is his phone number.
Welcome back to the Pundit section of our show. We have with us Greg Ferraro representing the Republican point of view and Chris Wicker representing the Democratic point of view. And Chris, let me ask you a question I didn't get to ask you on Monday. What has the Democratic Party done with Joe Neal? Why aren't they supporting him?
Well, you know, I saw the show yesterday with Andrew Barbano, and he had his facts wrong, as did the Reno Gazette-Journal have their facts wrong in their editorial. What really happened is that Joe Neal went out and publicly supported and endorsed the candidacy of Lynette Boggs McDonald, Republican running against the top of the Democratic ticket, Shelley Berkeley. And the Democratic charter specifies that if a candidate endorses and actively supports somebody other than the Democratic candidate, that the party is not going to support that person.
And do you think the party would have supported him anyway?
If they would have supported him were it not for the McDonald endorsement that he made, because you know, we're all excited. This is a painful thing because we're all excited that here's the first time an African American is one of the candidates for governor for a major party, and it should be a time of great excitement that this has occurred. But you know, for whatever reason, Senator Neal endorsed the opponent to the top of the Democratic ticket, Shelley Berkeley, and so we just can't support him. We're not opposing him, but we can't support him for that reason.
I remember when Jim Gibbons was running last time and the teacher was running against him, and he came on our program, was very supportive of her and her ability to run, so maybe Governor Gwynn will jump in and support Joe Neal at some point as well.
I don't know about that. I think 2 things. One is, from the Republican point of view, if the other side's shooting each other, don't get in the way. Right. Number 2 is, I think it speaks a lot about their Democratic support for Joe Neal.
Okay, let's talk about what just happened here. We have a discussion here between 2 candidates in Ward 2. The trench is the most contentious issue that's been going on for the last couple of years, and neither candidate wants to even address it.
Well, I think the trench is not going to be far out of the picture ever, because I think one of the reasons Sharon Zadra has been recruited to appear in this race is because my understanding is she supports the trench. Now, Dave Rigdon has actively said it's up to a voice of the people. And I think he represents an opposition to the problem with the City Council. The City Council has been incredibly arrogant in their treatment of citizen opinions, and Dave Rigdon, I think, has been a voice going against that arrogance.
Well, now, hang on a second.
I think Chris is voting for Dave.
Well, no, well, I guess my question is, you know, I watch SynCat and I watch the city council meetings, and I see time after time where these poor council folk and the mayor have to sit there for hours and hours and hours and on end listening to all this input from the public. They're listening to the input from the public, but aren't they supposed to make decisions because they were elected to make the decisions? I mean, how does this work?
They have to listen to the input, and unfortunately, they have to listen to idiots like Sam Dene. But beyond that, they do listen.
Thank God.
I thought I heard him say Chad.
But they have to listen, and the council does listen. But you look at what they do, and I think the majority of the council does not pay attention to what the citizens want.
Look, this issue's probably on the top of everybody's mind, at least for voters in Reno and Washoe County. As far as any other issue that's important, I tend to agree with Dave Rigdon. I think there's a lot of other issues. I think Sharon said the same thing. But this is the pig and the python. This is the big deal. And we'll see whether or not the voters on November 5th...
Well, voters will have a choice.
You know, well, Washoe County voters will have an opportunity to voice their pleasure on the ballot question. I think, nevertheless, whatever happens, I think, you know, we've got to move forward. As Justice Maupin said, the court's made its determination. The decisions have been made. Today's newspaper indicated that by a majority vote, contracts are moving forward. I think Cashel said the other day that if there's reason to stop, then they'll stop. If there isn't, they'll go forward.
Well, the other thing, too, is, and I think it's kind of interesting, is that you have an interesting group. You have business people who are supporting downtown moving forward with these major projects. You also have blue-collar workers with some of the labor unions, especially the carpenters, being very supportive. And you also have the votes of, what, 25,000 people who work downtown?
Well, you know, I think that talking about Justice Maupin's decision on the trench, you know, the Supreme Court made a correct decision.
Actually, we should point out
it was not his decision.
The Supreme Court's decision. They made a correct decision, and I must say I'm going to be the attorney representing the citizens for Scenic Reno, and the billboard argument comes up before the Supreme Court on the 15th in different facts. But they made a correct decision, but the City Council should have allowed the citizens to vote on this.
It's time for predictions.
Yes, let's go to predictions.
Let's go to predictions. All right, we'll start with
I'll
Greg
go
this
first.
time.
I think voter turnout in the general election statewide will be as much as 65%.
Oh, you're kidding.
Little lower in northern Nevada.
This is a gambling state. Maybe we should go down to a local book here.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about it on the day after the election. Chris?
Yes. Okay. Well, my prediction is on the Carter-Washington race. I think that's a very important race. Bill Washoe has thrown all his support against Carter and in favor of Washington. Washington is self-destructing, showing his true colors. You know, he's hypocritical on workers' comp. He did questionable mortgage practices. And Joe Carter's a decorated veteran, and I think Joe Carter's going to surprise people.
But that primary vote, I mean, Washington didn't seem like he lost a beat in the primary.
I couldn't disagree more with my colleagues'
That's
appraisal
a shock.
of the situation. I mean, mostly Chris and I tend to agree on a lot, but I don't agree with that assessment at all.
Okay, we'll see you guys back here on Monday. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll be right back with our closing moments after this time out.
Thank you.
The Roads to Riches leads to Atlantis. $130,000 cash and car giveaway. Win this 2002 PT Cruiser. What are you doing down the road? Cruise to Atlantis today.
Gem Gallery. The Gem Gallery is bringing Antwerp, Belgium directly to you. For 3 days only, September 26th through the 28th, the Gem Gallery will feature a stunning collection of 1-carat diamonds direct from Antwerp. And thanks to our affiliation with one of Antwerp's most powerful diamond companies, we are able to provide these diamonds at a substantial savings to you. If you'd like to own a spectacular diamond and enjoy once-in-a-lifetime savings, now is the time at the Gem Gallery. The Gem Gallery.
The 2003s are here, including award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokees, Liberties, and brand new Chryslers, and nearly all available at 0%. Now at Reno Jeep Chrysler.
You'll see more houses on the House Detective than you'll see on any other real estate program around. And you know what? We have more fun on the House Detective. Tune us in.
Now's the perfect time to get ready for holiday entertaining during Ennis's Fall Show and Sale going on right now. You have to see all the new designer fabrics now being offered. And with Ennis's complimentary design service, we'll help you make your home just right for the holidays. Plus, Ennis is offering 0% financing with no payments for 12 months. Stop by today, see what's new, take advantage of Ennis's design service, and save on everything in our store during our Fall Show and Sale.
Ennis Fine Furniture.
Let's rediscover the Gold Dust West.
Yeah, every Tuesday we earn double cash points on our Gold Rush card.
And triple points on video reel machines.
Plus, they guarantee $7,500 in cash giveaways every Saturday night.
Don't forget 4-of-a-kind cash bonuses on designated poker machines.
I'll play the penny-based 4-card Keno machines, the most and loosest in Reno.
As Gold Rush members, we'll earn more cash.
See you at the Gold Dust.
Hey, wait up!
The Gold Dust West, celebrating 25 years. Still the original and favorite locals casino.
I do want to mention that the opponent running against Judge Maupin is Judge Therese, and he will be with us in October.
Okay, and tell us who's coming up on Monday.
On Monday, we've got Greg Bordelin from the governor's office to talk about the press in Nevada. Are they liberal or not? And then we've got Sharon Angle and her opponent, Jan Gilbert, both running for the Assembly.
And that should be quite an interesting race. Plus, our pundits will be back again, so join us on Monday. Also, if you want to send us an email, it's newsmakers@kolotv.com. Newsmakers@kolotv.com. And we're off tomorrow, and you'll see Reno's Backstage Pass Friday, the best of Reno. And we'll see you here on Monday at 11 a.m. and repeated at 9 o'clock at Channel 12 on cable. Thanks for joining us.